Welcome to this video where we'll solve the Rubik's Cube today and learn all the basics that you need to know to be able to solve it. The first one being, I want to give you a standard notation on how this cube is referred to. This is the front face, right face, left face, up face, down face, and back face. If I turn the cube, now this is the up face, right face, left face, front face, back face, down face, and so on and so forth. There are certain algorithms that you will know, at least need to know, which I'll tell you. Algorithms that, as you do them over and over and over, the cube will return to its original position. Just like that. And the other thing is, if I say right, then I turn the right face clockwise. If I say up, that means turn the up face clockwise. If I say front, turn the front face clockwise, and it's always clockwise as if you were facing that face. So if I say down, I turn the down face clockwise. If I say right inverted, that just means counterclockwise. So right inverted, turn it counterclockwise. Up inverted, turn the up face counterclockwise. Left inverted, left face counterclockwise, so on and so forth. Okay, with that, let's get the cube mixed up here. Okay, so with this cube mixed up, it can be difficult with the mixed up cube to figure out what face needs to be what color. If you don't know, the solution is pretty simple. You look at the square in the middle. No matter how I turn this cube, that yellow square is going to stay yellow. So all the squares on this need to be yellow. All the squares on this face need to be green. All the squares here need to be white, and so on and so forth. My first goal in solving this is to get a green plus. I have two squares here already, but since all the squares here need to be white, and since no matter how I turn this cube, this is always going to be green and yellow, this square does not go here. I need to put a green and white square. And notice there's two kinds of squares on here. There's 3 stickers and 2 stickers. The 3 stickers always go in the corner. They're corner pieces. These go in the center. So I'm going to look for a bunch of these center guys. I'm going to look for a green and a white center. And here it is here. You have green and white. So what I'm going to do is just put the green and the white on the bottom face. And I'm going to turn so that the green and white is on the bottom face right below where it should go, green and white. And now that it's directly below where it goes, I'll turn it to the top face. And you'll notice that it's in the right place but twisted around. And I'm going to do an algorithm that will put this in the correct place. This algorithm will work no matter what other greens that I have in the top that are in the right place. So you don't have to worry about messing up the cube doing this. I'm going to say front inverted, up, left inverted, up inverted. And that puts white and green in the right spot. Notice here I have orange and yellow. Since this is in the wrong place, I'll just put it on the bottom face. I'll turn it so that my oranges line up with my green. It's directly below where I want to put it, and turn it to the top. Notice I have yellow and green. Turn it to the top. Finally, I look for my last green centerpiece. It's going to be here. And I put it directly below where I want it. I want green and red. This to be green, this to be red because of the center squares. So I turn it to the top. Notice it's in the right place, but it's wrong. This should be red, this should be green. It needs to be flipped. So I'll go front, up, front inverted, up, left inverted, up inverted. And I have just made a green plus with the colors lining up. That's the most difficult part because it's pretty abstract. There's not that many rules or procedures to follow getting the green plus, just a few tricks. If you've done this, you've probably done the most difficult part of solving the cube. From here, I'm going to teach you your second algorithm because I need to get my green corners in to have the green face completely solved. So I have the green face completely solved. I look at my green corners, and this one is green, red, and white. So I look for a face. Oh, this is green. Here's my red. Here's my white. So I need to have green, red, and white. This green, red, and white square goes here. So I'm going to turn it directly below where I want it. This corner is directly below my green, red, and white face, and the corner of which I want to put it from the top is in the lower right corner. So I always will hold it in the lower right corner with this directly below, and I go right inverted, right, down. That's the second algorithm you have to know. And now everything is in the right spot. I have my whites and my greens all perfect. Notice here I have this square in the right spot, white, orange, and green, white, orange, and green, white, orange, and green, but it's in the wrong position. So I simply do my algorithm: right inverted, right down, right inverted, right down, right inverted, right down, right inverted, right down, and it solves. This is the same case here. I have orange, yellow, green, but it's in the wrong spot. It's turned, so right inverted, right down, right inverted, right down, right inverted, right down, right inverted, right down, and we've got it. So finally I've got my green, yellow, and red. Green, yellow, and red. It's below where I want to put it, and in the lower right corner, right inverted, right down. And I have solved my top layer. Sometimes you'll come across a situation where you have some corners that are in the wrong spot. And if that be the case, notice this corner goes here, this corner goes here. I simply bring it down, twist the bottom layer, and back up. And now I've got this screen in the bottom layer. And all I have to do is put them in the right spot using my algorithm. Okay, so now with this top layer solved, I want to take some of these squares and put them in the right space so that all of these will be in the right spot. So the first thing is I look at this color. This is blue, which means everything in this face is blue. And if I want to take centerpieces to put them in here, that means that any centerpiece that's blue, that has blue in it, shouldn't go down here. So this one doesn't have any blue in it, which means that it goes somewhere in the second layer. So with my blue side facing up, I keep twisting it till I meet another orange and it matches. And then I say, oh, the yellow side's over here, so I want to take this square and put it right there. And there's an algorithm to do that. There's two algorithms really. They're mirror images of each other. There's one to put it here, and there's one to put this here. And you'll need both to be able to solve it, but they're easy to remember just because they're mirror images. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say top inverted, and this is to put this one over here. And I'm going to say left inverted, top, left, top, front, top inverted, front inverted. And that's probably the longest algorithm you'll come across. If I wanted to bear with me one moment. If I wanted to then put this square right here, then I do the mirror image. I just did an algorithm to put this square here. So to put this one on the other side, the other algorithm, I'm going to say top, left, top inverted, left inverted, top inverted, front inverted, top, front. And it puts it in the right spot. So I've solved much of that layer, and those are the two algorithms you'll need to know, and they're the longest ones. So if you got those algorithms down, then you're well on your way to solving the cube. Otherwise, you can look in the description, and I'll have these algorithms as well. So Since that can be hard to memorize, those two algorithms, I'll put it here and put it here, I'm going to do a way to remember it for you. So I have my yellow, and I have my yellow here and red. So I'm going to turn it in the direction away from where I want to put it. Since I want to put this here, I turn it away. And then I bring up 3 green friends. And then one friend runs away from those friends on the side that I want to put it. So those other 2 friends go home. This friend runs to the back face because he gets scared. So his 2 friends from the front face come and they pick him up. And then they all go home together. And now it's in the right spot. Other times you'll say, hey, I've got this in the right spot, but it's turned. This needs to be white and this needs to be red. It's backwards. If that be the case, just put any square in its place. So I'll put this blue and yellow one. It's not supposed to be there, but I got to get this out. So I'll just put any square in its place. Now I have my blue and yellow one. And I have my red and white, and I can put it where it goes in the right spot now. I'll do it slow. So I turn it away from where I want to put it. I bring up 3 friends. This friend runs away, and his other 2 friends go home. He runs away to the back face. 2 friends from the front face come and pick him up. And voila, we solved the entire second layer. Now, I look at my blue face again, and I'm going to have one of a few things. I could have this line. I could have this. I could have a cross, or I could have it completely solid. These corners can be not blue, but I'd have a cross. I could have this L shape, or I could have just a dot. I'm going to start off with just a dot. And if you have just a dot, then you do an algorithm: front, right, up, right inverted, up inverted, front inverted. And that gives you a little L. If you have an L, or if you start off with an L, then you just orient the L so that it's facing left and do the same algorithm: front, right, up, right inverted, up inverted, front inverted. There's a way to remember that. You fight and go to the store. So when you fight, you front right up. And then when you go to the store, they say that's right up front. So you right inverted, up inverted, front inverted. That's a way to remember it. And there's the line that you have. And with the line, you just orient it so the line is horizontal. And you fight and go to the store again. Front, right inverted, up inverted, front inverted. And that gives you your cross on the top. So now the only thing that's wrong is these don't line up in the center, even though you have a cross, and these corners are wrong. That's it. So all I have to do is figure that out. So I look, and I look for faces that match. In this case, I have 2 faces here and here that match. If I have that, then I put the face that matches in my right hand and the other face facing to the back face. And I do an algorithm. Sometimes I'll have to keep turning the top, and when I find 2 that match, I'll have one face that matches, one on the other side. If that be the case, and I have one facing me that matches and one to the other side that matches. Otherwise, I'll put it in my right hand and facing away. I want to show you real quick what that might look like. So here we go. I have a yellow and a white. And so I put the white facing away from me, the yellow facing towards me, if those are the ones that match. And I go right, I go up, right inverted, up, right, up, right inverted. Pretty easy, right? This gives me this guy matching and this guy matching, but these 2 don't match. So I do like I was going to do before, put the matching one in my right hand and the other one facing away. And I do the same algorithm. I say right, up, right inverted, up, right, up, right inverted. And when I twist it once, they all match. So that's how you can get those center pieces to match up, and we're almost done. So close we can almost taste it. So now I'm looking for these corners because these 4 corners are the only pieces that are wrong on the entire cube. And to fix that, I look for any corners that are solved, and in this case none are solved. So I look for some that are in the right place but turned, and I don't see any of those either. So I'm going to do this algorithm that's going to be just on an arbitrary corner since none match what I'm looking for. I'm going to say up, right, up inverted, left inverted, up, right inverted, up inverted, left. And it still gives me, it preserves my cross, but it puts these corners at a different orientation. In this case, looking for one that's in the right place but turned, I have one corner, yellow, blue, and orange. It's in the right place, but it's twisted. So I put that in my lower right, and I do the same algorithm. And I'll show you another trick so that you can remember it. I simply turn it the up clockwise, and then I bring up a worm from the ground, and I cut off his head. And then I bring up another worm from the ground, and I cut off his head. Oh, this guy's head's back on, so I put him back in the ground, and I do the same thing for this one. And I've done an algorithm now where I have either my corners solved or they're in the right place but turned. And that's what I want. I want either all my corners solved or in the right place but turned. And if I don't have that, after doing this algorithm, I simply orient a corner that's in the right place but turned to the bottom right, or I orient a corner that's solved to the bottom right, and I do that algorithm again. But now that I have all my corners that are in the right place but turned or solved, I'm going to do my right inverted, right down algorithm again. And I'm going to put a corner that is in the right place but turned into the bottom right. I'm going to do right inverted, right down until this corner is in the right spot. And then I can turn it to any other corner and do the same thing. So watch closely. Right inverted, right down. Right inverted, right down. Right inverted, right down. Right inverted, right down. Now that this is in the right spot, I turn the cube. Right inverted, right down. Right inverted, right down. Right inverted, right down. Right inverted, right down. Now I turn it again because this is in the right spot. And right inverted, right down. Right inverted, right down. Right inverted, right down. Right inverted, right down. Now I'm one twist away from solving the cube. 2 twists, really. But you have solved your cube. Congratulations. Any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll add some videos to help you out. Thank you for watching this video. If it was helpful, please subscribe. That's the best way to help me back. And I'll catch you next time.